Grab a band with your palms facing down and slightly away from each other. Be sure that you place constant tension into the band by pulling your hands away from each other while maintaining straight arm position. You're going to go up and over behind your head until you try and make physical contact with your back or go as far as is comfortable. Make sure that you maintain a neutral spinal position and that your neck is in line with your spine. This movement pattern targets the back of the shoulder, mid-back, and external rotator cuff. These are very small and intricate muscles, so make sure to keep a proper athletic position in the low body and core to create a stable base to work from. Place the band at shoulder height, and this may need to be adjusted for individual needs, and focus on smoothly exploding the band back to your face while driving the elbows behind you. Notice how we don't want to break this spinal position by rotating the pelvis forward or backwards. Lock in the core, press through the feet, engage the legs, and pull back. Start by grabbing the band with your palms facing the floor. Your hand should be around shoulder width apart, but feel free to go wider or narrower depending on the thickness and tension of your band. Note that light bands work well for most people. Pull the hands apart, squeezing your upper back muscles hard and bringing your shoulder blades together. The band should hit you right in the chest, in the front side of the body if you are doing these correctly. Notice here that the shoulder blades pull together first in order to create the tension to pull the arms apart. Make sure not to shrug your shoulders. Start in a half kneeling position with the rear foot elevated. Engage your core and keep your spine and pelvis in a neutral alignment. Squeeze the glute of the leg that's elevated. And once you can hold this posture, slowly bring your pelvis, core, and shoulders back and forth. In a half kneeling position, straighten out one of your legs and place it directly lateral to your body so that your knees are in line with one another. Use your hands grabbing each other in the midline of your body to aid in the weight distribution for the next step. With a neutral spine and pelvis, you'll move your butt on the kneeling side back to your heel, bringing your arms out straight in front of your body and hip hinging. This movement will create a dynamic stretch throughout your hamstrings along with your adductors or inner thigh of the leg that is straightened. Finish by coming all the way back up into hip extension and squeeze your butt for a split second to realign the pelvis each and every rep. This movement is for the hamstrings. You're going to be moving forward and back on the front leg and the ankle moving into dorsiflexion on the same front leg. Stagger your stance and grab onto the pole with your hands to improve your stability. Keeping your front heel down on the ground as best you can, you move your body forward and backward, aiding with your arms and hips. Driving your front knee forward, moving your ankle into end range dorsiflexion. Maintain a neutral spine and pelvic alignment throughout this dynamic stretch. Bring one leg forward and place your knee in front of your hip with your lower leg angled a bit towards the midline. This will target the deep rotators of the hip. On the back leg, be sure to dorsiflex your foot and kick your toes into the ground as we can work on the ankle mobility at the same time. Once in this position, to ensure spinal neutral, push yourself up with your arms into full extension and activate your core. If you're unable to achieve this position without rounding your back, simply elevate your hands up on a step or roller, as a spinal neutral is a requisite. Oscillate back and forth with a very small amount of movement. A little goes a long way on this one. Place your feet into your best squat stance. This may take some time to figure out. Hinge your hips back and go down and grab your toes to achieve a hamstring stretch in this toe touch progression. You can and should bend your knees so that you can grab the feet. After accentuating the hamstring stretch for a second or two, bend your knees and drop your butt down into a squat stance, pulling yourself down into this position with your hands. As you reach the bottom of your squat, your knees should move out, chest should rise up, and your spine should remain in neutral alignment. You can use your arms to help. Allow your head to lean to the movement as your hamstring stretches. Your spine stays in neutral, including your head, which should be looking down at the ground. As you transition back into a squat stretch, the head should come back up.